When you make a decision to not settle for mediocrity, you put yourself in a position to experience excellence. And that just came out so effortless. I did not even think about that. But that's so, oh man, that's so true. Hey, my responsible homegirl or homeboy. I am Kiani, the responsible homegirl. Welcome to my YouTube channel. This is a space that I've created to help you stop wasting your money and become financially responsible so that you can live your best life, not a life that you settle for. So today's video is so on brand with my mission, and it's inspired by this Facebook post. I'm going to read the Facebook post to you, but when I read it, well, I tell you, that thing hit me so deep. What really hit me deep was when I shared the post and I was like, hello. And the woman who actually wrote the post, she put in the comments, at the tender age of 47, I'm finally getting it due to you. And that thing just hit me like a ton of bricks, because it's not even about the age. The age is cool, but what's most important is that you get it, that you understand that we do not have to survive. We can thrive. That life is more than just working hard, paying bills, and doing enough to get by. That just because you can pay your bills, that's enough for you. Absolutely not. That is settling. So I want to read the post to you and then tell you more about why you need to stop settling, how to stop settling, and why you deserve more. Because truthfully and honestly, money and getting the money that you desire is all an inside job. And I always like to say your outside is going to reflect your inside. So if you don't get this right, your mindset, your beliefs, how you think about money, your relationship with money, if you don't start respecting money, you are never going to live a life of abundance. And the sad thing is God already promised us that. God promised us a life of abundance, but he is so kind. He is such a gentleman. He's not going to force anything on us. It is your responsibility, responsible homegirl, responsible homeboy. It is your responsibility to take power and to take hold of that and to walk in it. And the way that we manage our money is directly tied to our quality of life. The way we walk in our promises that God has already given us, that is going to determine what you experience. So if you walk around like, woe is me, I'm just meant to do this, you don't take action, you don't do the things that allows you to take hold of those promises and experience something different, you're not going to. So let me read this post and then we're going to hop into today's video. Brandy wrote, shout out to Miss Brandy. She said, transparency. So many of us were raised to think as long as we can pay our bills, we're good. And while I'm grateful every time I can handle mine, I've realized I don't want to just survive. I want to live. Being able to pay bills shouldn't be the definition of financial comfort. We were taught by the older generation, go to school, get a good education, and find a job. And while that advice came from love, we now know there are other paths to success. Trade schools, entrepreneurship, certifications. You don't have to have a college degree to make money or build wealth. It's time that we break these generational curses, poverty, survival thinking, and limiting beliefs. I want to stop saying, I ain't losing money, so I'm good. No, baby. I want to be winning. I want growth, not just stability. I want abundance, not just enough. We deserve more than just making it. You deserve more than just making it. Getting by, barely doing enough, not being able to travel, not being able to give the way you want to give, not being able to start that business, not being able to let your money work for you. How long are you want to settle for that? That's a question that you honestly have to ask yourself. How long am I going to settle for that? Remember in a couple of videos ago, this is probably like maybe, I can't remember, but I'll put the video up there. I said your current financial situation is all your fault. And not to say that different things haven't happened that led you here, but when you take accountability for where you are right now financially, you grab your power back. And the same thing that you like to say, oh, I don't like this, I wish this was different, the same thing that you can throw yourself a pity party about, instead of doing that, you say, oh, I don't like this, so I got the power to change it. I don't like it, so I can change it. So when we come into that realization, when we get aware, when we become aware that this is not enough for me and I've been settling, now what do? Because that's the first step. Awareness is the first step. So after you become aware of, I'm settling, what do I do? What's the next step? You need to get clear on what you want. Get clear on what you want and decide that just because you have experienced different things, just because you probably wasn't exposed to different things growing up, none of that matters. You have to stop giving yourself room to make excuses. Excuses are not going to get you anywhere. Nowhere. So when you say, I don't like this, I want to do something different, I'm tired of settling. Okay, well, what do you want? How does your life look? What is a life of abundance? What is a life of thriving? What does that look like for you? How do you feel? When was the last time you just sat down and thought about your dream life? It's crazy because as children, we dream so big and so grand about all the things that we want to do, our homes, like our car, like just so many different things. What do you want? When was the last time you dreamed? So many times we're so busy making a living that we don't take the time to dream. To dream. Right after my birthday, on my birthday, I took myself on a me date. And I went to Woodhouse Spa. This is not sponsored, but they need to sponsor me. I went to Woodhouse Spa. It was amazing. Had a great hot stone massage. Took myself out to eat. Went to Jenny's, got ice cream. Went to a couple of shops downtown Charleston. As I was just enjoying my day and enjoying my own company, I'm like, this is life. I do not believe in the phrase of, oh, there's no such thing as a work-life balance. Oh, it better be a work-life balance. Because one thing I don't do is work just to pay bills and work to keep on working. No, I'm working with a goal in mind. And I share that because the way that I felt that day is how I want my life to feel all the time. And of course, there are going to be times where I'm pushing a little harder. I'm working a little bit harder. I got to lock in and get some things done. But at the end of the day, I can come back and say, no, life is good. Life is great. I can take a moment back. I could take a step back and enjoy the fruits of my labor. When was the last time you did that? And I'm not talking, just spending money recklessly, doing the impulse shopping and the emotional shopping because you don't feel good. That's not what I'm talking about. That's escaping your reality. I'm talking about creating that reality. You are working with a vision and a purpose in mind because you don't want to settle. And enough is enough of the barely getting by and having a little left over for food, clothes, just the little knick-knack stuff that you don't really care about. I want you to tap into what you actually care about. After thinking about what you want, now it's time to do some stuff different. It's time for you to start managing your money. It's time for you to start investing your money. Investing your money. When you hear the word invest, I want you to think about one word. That's growth. You are putting your money someplace with an expectation that the money will grow. Stop making investing so hard. You can invest in a business. You can invest in the stock market. You can invest in real estate. It's so many different ways that you can invest your money. But are you investing your money? No. So let's not leave these things on the table because we don't know about them. Like in my last video, I was talking about how your unwillingness to learn will keep you broke. So you got to be willing to learn. We think that it's just so hard, and it's not. Open you up a Roth IRA, which is the individual retirement account. Start putting money there. That is money that will grow for you tax free. How did I learn that? By reading a book. So do not be afraid to invest in first your financial education and then invest your money. If you want to invest in the stock market, cool. Start reading books and learning about investing in the stock market. These are different things that you can do so that you are not settling. When it comes to real estate, I want to say I shared this on my TikTok live. I was telling them how one of my major goals for 2025 is to move out of my mom's house and buy my first investment property, a multifamily property, where I would stay in one and rent out the other units. And that vision, me having that why in mind, that is going to help me take a handle on how much I'm spending. I can't spend like how I used to because I have a goal in mind. So with that goal in mind, Not only am I saving towards a down payment for this property, but also at the same time, I'm thinking about how my money can work for me. I'm putting my money someplace knowing that I want a multifamily property, tenants will live in them, and they will be paying me rent. And even if I'm not living mortgage free, that's cool. Because guess what? They are essentially funding my property, my investment. How did I learn that? In a book, listening to podcasts. It's called house hacking. So again, you have to be willing to learn. Get clear on what you want and back it up with action. Because again, you deserve more. Settling is not okay. You deserve more than just making it. You deserve more than just surviving. I want you to thrive. I want you to look back and say, oh my God, look how far I've come. Be proud of your financial decisions. I don't want you to look back saying woulda, coulda, shoulda, or I wish I did different, or playing the blame game saying nobody taught me this when you are a big grown adult. And I'm saying this from a place of love. I'm saying this so direct and so straightforward because you cannot afford to waste your money. Stop wasting your money. And wasting your money is deeper than just reckless spending, just emotional shopping. When you don't fully use money as a tool, you are wasting your money. And investing is part of that. When I was facing eviction, I was down bad, barely had money. The last thing I was thinking about was a multifamily property. The last thing I was thinking about was investing my money. I was trying to figure out how I could get my head above water. So it is steps to this. And maybe you're in a season right now where you just need to focus on budgeting and you need to focus on learning. It's okay. Label that season. But if you're not there, you need to make a pivot to figure out, okay, what do I need to cut back on? Have I been doing a little bit too much with no regard for the future? Because if that's the case, it's never too late to start doing something different. Again, at the beginning of this video, like I said, what touched me so deeply was Miss Brandy said, I'm 47 and I finally got it due to you. And it's not about the age. It's about the fact that she got it. You know how many people don't get it? Don't get it. And the decisions that we make now, I cannot keep saying enough how they impact us more than we know. And it's crazy because somebody can be sitting back thinking, oh girl, you 27, you don't know. Growing up, my mom used to say, you don't have to touch the stove to know it's hot. Meaning you don't have to experience to know the truth. I have seen so much. I look at older adults who live a certain life that I desire and older adults who live a life that I don't want no parts in. And all of us have our stories. All of us have our things that we go through. And there are certain things that we cannot control. But what you can control, do I even have to say what's next? So I say all that to say, don't leave your life up to the hands of chance. Don't do it. Be intentional, be proactive, and make a decision that I am not going to settle for mediocrity. When you make a decision to not settle for mediocrity, you put yourself in a position to experience excellence. And that just came out so effortless. I did not even think about that. But that's so, oh man, that's so true. When you make a decision not to settle for mediocrity, you put yourself in a position to experience excellence. I need to get that on a shirt. I need to write that. That's going to be in a book one day. I'm telling you, it's going to be in a book one day because it's so true. And I believe it so strongly. And I hope you can feel my passion behind this. Stop settling. Don't play small. I was actually listening to a video talking about like money mindset. And the woman in the video, she said, when you play small, you're basically prolonging your freedom. And I said, oh my God. Ain't that the truth? You playing small at the job, you playing small in your business, you making excuses, procrastinating, being lazy. When you play small, you're prolonging your freedom, which is something that we're all wanting, something that we're all working towards. Time freedom, financial freedom, choices, options, the ability to do what we want, when we want, with who we want. Tell me that's not what you want. If that's not what you want, you can just cut this video off right now. So the things that we desire in our lives, not settling, the wealth that we want to build, all of that begins with budgeting. So budgeting allows you to master your money. It allows you to tell your money where to go instead of wondering where your money went. I will see people online all the time saying you can't budget your way to wealth. You can't save your way to wealth. That's true. However, you can't invest money that you don't have. You can't save money that you don't have. So if you don't have the money because you're so busy spending it, how are you going to build the wealth again? So yes, you do have to invest, but before investing, you need to budget your money. You need to know what's coming in and what's leaving out. You need to be practicing habits of saving. You don't need to put money in a Roth IRA with an empty savings account. So these are things that I just want you to know and keep at the top of your mind as you decide to stop settling. It's okay to want more. It's okay to desire a life that is unlike what you've seen growing up. That's okay. So give yourself permission to dream big. And I just want to encourage you to actually believe that those things can happen for you. And as you believe more and more that these things can happen for you, I know that you are going to take crazy action. You're going to take intentional steps to see it happen in real life. You can do this. Stop settling because you deserve more. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel so you can continue investing in your financial education. And before I end, I just want to share with you, I used to be the queen of the irresponsible homegirls. My mindset was spend a check and get it right back. But now here I am, the responsible homegirl, encouraging you to become a responsible homegirl or a responsible homeboy, teaching financial literacy at schools with organizations to adults who are older than me, a whole physical product line of budgeting planners that are selling well, speaking engagements, a business that I am building brick by brick. Things can turn around when you turn around. So thank you so much for being here. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Drop down what you are going to do today because you already know we all about taking action. You do not have to sit here and listen to me talk your head off. I want you to actually apply something to your personal finances. And then last but not least, share this with a homegirl or a homeboy so that they can join us on this journey of responsibility and freedom. I love you so much, and I will see you in the next conversation. Bye.